Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Marvel Studios might be about to strengthen one wild Thunderbolts team theory by introducing a new member in Daredevil. Born Again on Disney+. Daredevil. Born Again has been expanding the street-level corner of the MCU in some exciting ways, including by bringing back some of the most terrifying villains from Netflix's original Daredevil series. However, one of these villains could break out of his street-level persona and become part of a bigger MCU storyline, especially if one brilliant Thunderbolts team theory turns out to be true. Since Daredevil, Born Again continues the story of the original Daredevil series, it was a great choice to bring back Wilson Bethel as Benjamin Poindexter, aka Bullseye. Poindexter killed Foggy Nelson in Born Again's premiere and broke out of prison in Episode 8, Isle of Joy, to make another attempt on Mayor Wilson Fisk's life, with his story set to be concluded in the season finale. Bullseye's fate in Daredevil. Born Again's finale could see him imprisoned again, but not in any regular institution, rather one that could tease a bright future for the villain. After killing 11 innocent people, including Foggy Nelson in Daredevil, Born Again's premiere, Benjamin Poindexter was incarcerated in the prison on Rikers Island. However, after escaping and showing off more of his skills, with his sharpshooting abilities now enhanced by his cognium steel skeleton, Bullseye will likely be moved to a more specialized institution after Daredevil. Born Again's finale. This could lead to Bullseye being imprisoned in the Raft, an underwater prison designed to hold some of the strongest superpowered criminals that already has some remarkably powerful residents. The Raft was first seen in the MCU in 2016's Captain America: Civil War, as this is where Sam Wilson, Scott Lang, Clint Barton, and Wanda Maximoff are imprisoned after the Avengers' Civil War at the Leipzig/Halle airport. The Raft was then mentioned several times throughout Netflix's Defenders saga, before appearing in the MCU proper again in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America: Brave New World. Since the Raft has become important again, it would make sense for Bullseye to get a cell there, and this could support a wild Thunderbolts theory. Marvel Studios is set to form the first Thunderbolts team in May 2025 by bringing together Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, Bucky Barnes, U.S. Agent, Taskmaster, and Ghost. However, a popular theory suggests that this won't be the last Thunderbolts team seen in the MCU, and, in fact, a more morally reprehensible version of the team could be formed from the residents of the Raft. Bullseye being incarcerated in the Raft could support this theory, as he would be the sixth possible member of this dark new MCU team. When the Thunderbolts team was introduced to Marvel Comics back in 1997, they were actually the Masters of Evil disguised as heroes to fill the gap left by the Avengers' absence. The Masters of Evil were led by Baron Helmut Zemo, and Daniel Bruhl's version of Zemo is a resident of the MCU's Raft. So this theory brings together a darker, more comic-accurate iteration of the Thunderbolts team, partnering Bullseye with Zemo, Trish Walker's Hellcat, Willis Stryker's Diamondback, Thaddeus Ross' Red Hulk, and Samuel Stern's Leader would create one of the MCU's most powerful and most threatening new groups. The MCU's first Thunderbolts team will be coming together in the eponymous Thunderbolts * movie in May 2025, with a number of reformed villains and anti-heroes from Marvel Studios' history, teaming up to save New York City from Lewis Pullman's Bob. Despite formerly being villains, this Thunderbolts team seemed to be trying to be heroes, which leaves the door open for a more comic-accurate, dark Thunderbolts team to debut, whether at the end of Thunderbolts * or beyond. If not in Thunderbolts *, there are many other opportunities for this team to come together. Perhaps the most logical place for this team to form in the Raft would be in Avengers: Doomsday or Secret Wars in the MCU's Phase 6. The Russo brothers crossover movies will be bringing together several different superhero teams to take on Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, so the Wrath's residents could join forces as a new Thunderbolts team. A sequel to Thunderbolts * could also introduce a darker version of the team, while Daredevil, Born Again Season 2 could catch up with Bullseye in the Raft and tease the new team's debut, which could be game-changing for the Daredevil. MCU. Born Again made my wildest Thunderbolts theory even more likely in they. When it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one thing is abundantly clear. Its narratives is its strongest asset and its biggest gamble. With every new show or film introduced, the delicate balance of expanding the MCU while maintaining coherence becomes increasingly intricate. Recently, with the announcement of Daredevil, Born Again, I found myself re-evaluating many of my theories about where the MCU is headed, particularly concerning the psychological undercurrents of the Thunderbolts storyline. To my astonishment, elements from Daredevil, Born Again support my wildest theories about the Thunderbolts more than I ever imagined. #####, the shift to anti-heroes. The return of Daredevil, with Charlie Cox reprising his iconic role, signifies a shift in tone and approach in the MCU. Born Again is bound to delve deeper into the moral complexities of its characters, a theme that aligns perfectly with the fabric of the Thunderbolts. When the team was introduced in the comics, it comprised reformed villains posing as heroes, all while battling their own demons. Our beloved Daredevil, with his moral ambiguity and exploration of justice versus vengeance, fits well into this framework. With Daredevil's intricacies laid bare in Born Again, it is likely that he will cross over between his own narrative and the inevitable chaos surrounding the Thunderbolts. Characters like Yelena Belova, who wrestle with their own pasts and moral decisions, reflect this deeper understanding of heroism. Yelena's complex nature, being the product of a broken system, mirrors Matt Murdock's struggles. Therefore, I theorize that the thematic depth of Daredevil's series could open the door for exploring the complexities of the Thunderbolts' motivations as a team of anti-heroes, blurring the lines between good and evil. ######, the echo of new characters. Born Again is also expected to introduce fresh characters from the Marvel lore into the MCU, with rumors hinting at the introduction of characters like Bullseye, Elektra, and the potential interplay with the wider street-level rogues gallery. These narratives can inform the formation of the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts could feature brilliant but morally gray figures like Bullseye, who finds himself at odds with traditional heroism. Moreover, might we see Echo, whose storyline intertwines with Daredevil, thrown into the mix? Her character, an embodiment of redemption and transformation, could serve as a connective tissue, allowing for emotionally charged story arcs that resonate well within the Thunderbolts narrative. With character arcs of redemption and antagonism, viewers can expect to witness a compelling exploration of loyalty and betrayal. ######, the question of leadership. In bringing back established characters like Kingpin and potentially placing other series regulars into the forefront, Born Again creates ripe opportunities for narrative depth. The Thunderbolts, by design, typically revolve around a villain in a leadership role. How fascinating would it be if Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin emerged as a central figure in the team's chaotic mission? As seen in Daredevil's show, Kingpin embodies a multifaceted villain. He's not merely a criminal mastermind, but a businessman with a convoluted sense of morality. If he were to lead the Thunderbolts, the underlying themes relevant to the team, redemption, moral ambiguity, and the search for power, would be further complicated. With Kingpin's ruthless tactics and political acumen, we could see a darker undertone to their missions, challenging characters like Yelena and Bucky Barnes to wrestle with their own moonlit pasts. #####, the themes of redemption and public image. Daredevil's ongoing fight for justice often collides with public perception, something that resonates with the Thunderbolts premise. In the comics, the Thunderbolts are heroes in disguise seeking to redefine themselves while simultaneously manipulating public perception. As Murdoch navigates the complexities of his own dual identity as both lawyer and vigilant, his narrative in Born Again could contribute fascinating story elements to the Thunderbolts, exploring public image and be marketed as a legitimate force for good, while secretly acting on personal gain or darker motives. This tension will enable a rich study of public perception and personal moralities. Just as Matt fights for justice in the courtroom while donning the mask of Daredevil, the Thunderbolts will confront their motivations in the eyes of the world versus who they truly are. Conclusion: the convergence of stories. Daredevil's return isn't merely about reviving an old character, it's about reigniting a complex narrative that interweaves various strands of the MCU. Born Again can serve as the catalyst for the Thunderbolts saga, providing the depth, conflict, and emotional stakes needed for a compelling narrative. As we dive deeper into the psychological underbelly of characters, both antagonists and protagonists, what may emerge is an exploration of villainy and heroism that feels both unsettling and urgent. In this light, my Wildest Thunderbolts theory, connected by Daredevil's manifold struggles, philosophical dilemmas, and the introduction of rich new characters, has gained a newfound likelihood. With themes of redemption, leadership, and moral conflict on the horizon, fans can look forward to a unique storytelling experience that combines the layers of Daredevil's emotional depth with the kinetic energy of the Thunderbolts narrative. What unfolds as these stories intertwine may just redefine what it means to be a hero in the beautiful chaos that will keep fans speculating long into the night.